Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is just going to be a kind of sit down talking video about my weight loss journey, about where I'm at currently, things I've been experiencing, and so on. I've tried to make this video a few times. Even last week I tried to do it. I sat down and wrote kind of like a little script of what I wanted to say, and it just didn't feel right, so I did away with that, and I'm going to go more with just speaking about what's on my heart and saying what just comes to mind as I go. So I hope you'll stick with me. This isn't going to be what I consider a perfect video. I'll probably say a lot and be all over the place, but maybe as I go on and make more of these videos, I'll get better at speaking and get my facts and my thoughts more in a row. But for now, it's just going to be kind of random and all over the place, I guess. But I'm going to start off with talking about what I've learned in the past 8 years, more so in the past 2 or 3 years, actually. I'm an emotional eater. I know that there are a lot of people who are overweight just because they eat the wrong things and too much of the wrong things. And yes, that is my problem as well. Obviously I eat too much, but there is more to this excess weight than just the weight. It's something that you can't see, which is causing me to eat too much. Because if it was just the food, I wouldn't have such a hard time sticking to a food plan or a diet. It's because I feel the need to medicate with food. It's how I cope with sadness, pain, grief, even happiness. I've learned to just medicate myself, and I have associated all kinds of events in my life to food. I can go back as far as when I was around 4 years old. I was physically and sexually abused by a family member, and they would make me food to keep me quiet because I'd be upset afterwards. So they would make me food and I would eat, and that would soothe my pain. So I learned at a very young age that food soothed pain. Fast forward a few years to around the age of 12, I can remember when my mom set me down and we were eating Domino's pizza, and my mom told me that I asked her if her and my dad were getting a divorce, and she said yes, they were. So I can remember clearly that evening binging on Domino's pizza. So to this day, pizza is like a really big soothing mechanism for me, soothing food for me. So I found that no matter what kind of a food plan I stick to, if I'm not working on myself spiritually and emotionally, none of that is there's not going to be any food plan that's going to work, because I'm just going to want to medicate with food. That's why now that I'm a little over a month into my weight loss journey again, it's becoming more difficult for me, because all those feelings are starting to come up, and I'm getting faced with new difficulties and new emotional problems, and just a lot of triggers that make me want to binge and make me want to medicate with the food. And now I'm having to learn other coping mechanisms. I've turned to things like spirituality, meditation, journaling. I even color in adult coloring books, crafting. I'm trying to do things that don't revolve around food to soothe my soul and my emotions, and to try to understand the reasons why I've done what I've done for so long. And it's a very difficult path. So last night this happened. Not proud of that, and I am extremely embarrassed of it, and I wasn't even going to admit it. I have been soda free for almost 2 months, and last night I had kind of a hard time. I'm in a relationship that is a little bit difficult at times, and I'm not blaming the other person at all. It's not their fault. It's nobody's fault that I binge and overeat but mine. I think there's a fine line between an explanation and blaming someone and an excuse. But this is just an explanation of why I chose to medicate with food. It was a difficult day yesterday, emotionally, and I chose to sleep most of the evening to avoid the situation because I was hurt. And so when I woke up, it was later than I usually eat my dinner, and I had taken anxiety medicine, which makes me sleepy, and it was around 9 o'clock, and I was hungry because I hadn't eaten since like around 1:30 earlier in the day. So I ate my dinner, and I was still feeling sleepy from the anxiety medication. So I fell back to sleep right after I ate, which is like the worst possible thing you can do. But I did it, and then when I woke up again around midnight, I was extremely sick. So my mind went back to, my mom always had this thing of, when you're sick, you need to drink a soda. I know that's not reality. I know that it's probably the worst thing you can do, but probably other people can relate to that. Your parents or your grandparents told you to drink a Sprite or drink 7-Up when you're not feeling well. Of course, I go to Pepsi because honestly, I'd rather drink Pepsi or Coke or any kind of soda actually than eat food, which sounds weird being a compulsive overeater, but if I had to pick between soda and food for the rest of my life, it would definitely be soda. So I decided that I needed a soda because I was feeling sick to my stomach. And old ways, old habits die hard. I didn't just get one, I got two, because if you have one, you might as well have two, in my mind. So I drank them. I felt completely guilty because I had been doing so well, and I had been posting on Facebook and posting on Twitter that, oh, I'm 7 days soda free, 10 days soda free, and then I just blew it all. And I felt that I didn't want to admit it because I'm ashamed. So I let all the emotions yesterday build up, and it just led down a path of one thing rolled into another, and it just kind of got away from me. I even questioned just hiding and stop making videos and stop on my food journey, but I can't do that. I need to do this because I need to save my life, literally. So I was talking about the relationship that I'm in that's extremely difficult, and I won't get into the details of that. Sorry for the sirens. But I am an empath, and if you don't know what an empath is, it's someone who can absorb energy around them, absorb the energy of others extremely easy, especially people that you have a connection with. I get really overwhelmed when I go out in public because I can sense other people's emotions very, very easily. I know just being around them if they're in a good mood, if they're in a bad mood, and it seems like bad energy I absorb way easier than good energy. I even get to the point when I get home, I get like almost on a high because I've absorbed so much energy. It's hard to know which is my energy and how I'm feeling and what I've absorbed from other people. And I know that probably sounds crazy to some people that aren't aware of like the different spirituality things and how your body works and how your soul works, but it's definitely a thing. So when it's somebody you're connected with or you have the connection with, for me, I absorb that person's energy so quickly. My emotions and my moods can just change at the drop of a hat, and I'm sure the person, he's watching this video and he could probably attest to that, how my mood changes depending on what his mood is. And it's difficult for me to separate myself from someone else, not just him, but just that's the example that I'm talking about. So I've been working on trying to remember that my emotions are my emotions, and I am me, and I don't have to absorb everybody just because I'm around them. It's a very hard thing. Like I said, when you're an empath, it's extremely hard. So for me, I'm trying to focus on my emotional and spiritual journeys as a bigger part of my whole self wellness journey, because I have picked the food plan that I feel is the best for me. I am in no way completely perfect at eating. I probably never will be, but the majority of what I eat is plant-based. I know I eat chicken, which is definitely not a plant. There are a few processed things that I still eat, but I slowly want to put them out of my diet and be completely plant-based. And it is also my goal to be completely fresh when I can instead of canned, because canned has so much sodium in it and it's just not as good for you, not as healthy as fresh. But like I said, for right now, I'm doing the food plan that I feel is best for my body. I think that is the healthiest way to go. Again, that's just my opinion. I know that there are people out there who do an array of different food plans that work for them better, and that's fine. I think that it's possible to lose weight on any food plan as long as you're doing it correctly. And for me, this is what's working. And as long as I feed my body the healthy things, eat in moderation when I'm hungry, eating my allotted calories, and then work on my spiritual and emotional journey, I think that is the most important for me right now. People have asked me like, oh, is there too many carbs in this, or is there too many carbs in that? I don't count carbs in fruit and vegetables. That's probably people are going to say it's a mistake. I don't eat that much fruit other than smoothies, and I don't eat that many carby vegetables. I know quinoa and rice have carbs, and oatmeal has carbs, but like I said, that's just me. That's just how I'm eating. And for right now, focusing on the healthy, plant-based whole foods, and then focusing on my emotional and spiritual journeys is what is extremely important to me. So that's what's working for me right now. I did weigh myself last Friday, and I will weigh myself this Friday, and when I do, then I'll post my weight from last week and my weight from this week and how much I've lost. Hopefully it's a loss, because before I weighed myself last week, I hadn't weighed myself in quite a long time, so I don't know exactly losses, gains. So I'll start with this being week 2 at the end of the week, and we'll see where I'm at there. Other than that, that's about all. I'm not going to drink any more soda, and I'm back on my plan. That was the only thing that I had. I didn't binge, or I didn't eat anything else. It was just the soda. Not that that wasn't bad enough, because it was bad. But it's done, and I'm not going to dwell on it, and I just have to move forward from here. So that's kind of where I'm at for right now, and I appreciate y'all watching, and I will have another update when I think of something else to talk about. I hope you all have a good day, and I will talk to you soon.